And instead, it's her planner who's the crazy one. Do you know what she just asked me?" "No." Mabel went over to the sink to fill the kettle for a new batch of iced tea. It sounded like they were both going to need it to get through the day. "She wants me to change the lavender-flavored wedding cake and make it lemon instead, because she just found out the bride is allergic to lavender." Emily took a long swig of iced tea and set the glass down with an emphatic thump. "Can you believe she thinks I can produce a whole new wedding cake with only 24 hours left before the wedding? I don't have time to make another one myself, and it's the peak of wedding season, so it's not like I can get someone else to make it for me. Bakers are booked to capacity and beyond. I'm just glad I decided not to add lavender to today's cheesecake bars, and I have extras for tomorrow, so there will be at least one dessert the bride can eat." Mabel wrinkled her nose. "I'm glad, too. I don't like lavender any more than my aunt did, and those bars are fabulous without it." Emily brushed away a tear of frustration. "I wish I could just tell Paige to stuff it. But I really need this job to go well, and I need her to give me a good reference. Catering is the only way I'll be able to earn enough to keep my goats." Emily's estranged husband had recently given her an ultimatum along with the divorce papers. If she couldn't earn enough money on her own within 6 months to prove she could cover all the expenses of keeping her goats at what had been their marital home, then it would have to be sold as part of the court proceedings. Emily was convinced she'd also have to sell the goats in that case, since she wouldn't be able to afford another farm for them to live on, and it would break her heart if she had to let them go. The goats were working animals, producing milk for the artisanal cheese she sold at the farmer's market, but she also loved them like pets. "I'm sure the bride will give you a good reference, even if the planner won't," Mabel said, "and unlike the planner, the bride is local and probably knows more people around here who could use your catering services." "It's like the planner is trying to ruin both the wedding and me," Emily said as if she hadn't heard Mabel's reassurances. Her usually sweet face turned dark. "I bet my not-soon-enough ex-husband-to-be paid her to sabotage everything. He's determined to hurt me any way he can, and he knows it would kill me to have to sell my goats. I can't let him get away with it, and catering is the only skill I have that would earn me enough to cover the farm's expenses. You've still got 4 months left, and you've got Rory on your side." Rory Hanson was a mutual friend, the wife of a local police officer and the moving force behind the local community-supported agriculture group. She knew everyone in town, and most people tended to do whatever she asked them to, although sometimes they had to be dragged into doing the right thing. Mabel herself had found herself doing things she'd had reservations about, simply because Rory insisted. "She's been promoting your new catering business to everyone in town." Emily wasn't willing to be mollified. Having Rory on my side would be enough in most circumstances. But my husband doesn't fight fair. If he did, he never would have carried on with a colleague behind my back for months and then had divorce papers served on me with no warning. He had been unnecessarily cruel, but there was nothing Mabel could think of to make her friend feel better, so she settled for saying, "I'm sorry." "He's such a jerk," Emily said before launching into a rant about how, after he'd been sure the papers had already been served, he'd called from his new girlfriend's house to explain that he'd had enough of his wife's artsy-fartsy, new-agey ways, and she needed to learn to live in the real world. Mabel went about brewing the tea while her friend vented. She tuned out a bit, since she'd heard it before. The water had boiled, the leaves had steeped and been removed, and ice cubes had been added to the pitcher before Emily wound down. "I'll show him a real world he never imagined," Emily said with quiet determination. "I'm going to be the most successful caterer in West Slocum, maybe even all of Western Massachusetts, and then I'll buy..."